Good evening. This special meeting of the Mount Horeb Area School District Board of Education will come to order. The purpose of this special meeting is to discuss and consider an alteration to the district's return to site-based work plan. Roll call. Danny.
Here.
Diana.
Here.
Jeff. I think Jeff is absent tonight. Jessica.
Here.
Kimberly.
Here.
Leah.
Here.
And I am here as well. Dr. Salerno, can you certify that this meeting has been properly noticed?
Yes, it has.
All right. Those who can, I hope that you'll join me in standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Do I have a volunteer to read the mission statement?
Yes, Rod, I'll do it. This is Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly.
The Mount Horeb Area School District, in partnership with the community, is dedicated to nurturing, educating, and challenging our students, preparing and empowering them to be productive, responsible, and self-fulfilled members of society.
Thank you, Kimberly. Item 2A, approval of the presented or revised agenda. Are there any revisions? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the presented agenda.
This is Diana. Motion to approve.
This is Jessica, second.
Diana has moved and Jessica has seconded a motion to approve the presented agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor will say aye.
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 Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and the presented agenda is approved. Item 3A, citizen comments. Those wishing to speak should please text their first and last name to 608-250-9166. 608-250-9166. And we have 3 who have already signed up for citizen comments. Mrs. Kleppe.
Good evening. We did send a note. I'm coming representing the Mount Horeb Education Association, the professional organization for faculty. And we did send a more specific letter to the board members with some of our concerns or our perspective on the mandated hours in the building. And I think our concerns are threefold. One, that with the rise of infections and the greater risk of people being in contact with each other in a building, that the fewer number of people who are actually working in the building, the less risk there is for those who are there, especially with our ELC, PC people being asked to come back into the building and work directly with students. That also increases the risk as we have more adults in the building. So we feel like allowing some of the people who are working virtually to be able to not be in the building would be a benefit for everyone. There is a concern for some people to work in the building just because of equipment and those kinds of things, and we just really need to keep those buildings open. I would think that would be a district goal to be able to have everybody working safely. I think the third thing that has been brought to our attention is that the faculty feels like they have gone above and beyond to demonstrate their professionalism, their work ethic, their willingness to go, to do much more than is asked of them to make a quality virtual platform for the students in the district, and that it would be a professional, would allow people to make that professional choice of where they can best do their virtual work. And I think that would go a long way to show your appreciation to the faculty in the district. So that's my perspective as a teacher in the district, working virtually.
Well, thank you very much, Becky, for your thoughtful comments tonight, and most especially for your commitment to our kids. You're one of a kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Cheadle is up next. Suzanne?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I think you can probably see me, but I can't see me. So,
Yep, we can see you.
yes. I'm sitting in our makeshift basement office, where for the past almost 8.5 months, at the request of his employer, the university, my spouse has been teaching about thermodynamics, heat transfer, and gas turbines. So it seemed a fitting place from which to present a petition to remove the on-site work requirement for 100% virtual teachers. This petition was created and posted on Wednesday evening before this meeting was announced and before Dr. Salerno's letter on the topic was released. I'm glad to see that opinions have shifted so that we seem more on the same page now, and I hope the board will come to a decision easily and quickly tonight. You've received the full text of the petition and all its signatures via email. It requests that the on-site work requirement be removed immediately to comply with requests from Governor Evers and state epidemiologist Dr. Ryan Westergaard to allow all employees who can work remotely to do so. We need to be looking not for exemptions, but for ways to help respond to the urgent pleas of our public health officials, our doctors, and our nurses, some of whom live right here in our community. And we need to be looking for ways to keep our teachers and our community safe. This petition took the additional step of requesting that principals immediately stop enforcing the on-site work requirement upon its delivery on Friday morning. It has been signed by approximately 100 Mount Horeb parents and community members. And to all of you who signed, I thank you for standing with me. I hope the board will vote to remove the requirement tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Marcia Light.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marcia Light, and I'm a 6th grade teacher at the middle school, and I've worked in this district as a teacher since 1988, so don't do the math on that. I'm also a member of the Mount Horeb Education Association, and I'm just going to quickly piggyback off of the previous 2 comments. And I want to give you my perspective as of a teacher who has been teaching from home 100% since day 1 of school. In August, I was granted a COVID-19 health accommodation to teach and work from home due to underlying health conditions that make me high risk for complications of COVID-19. So as you think about revising the site-based work plan, I just want to assure you, as someone who has been teaching from home since day 1, that it is absolutely possible to do this successfully. I use my personal desktop computer as well as a district-issued laptop computer to teach all of my virtual classes. I attend all of my staff meetings, colleague meetings, and planning times virtually, just as my colleagues who are working in the building do. I communicate via email and phone no differently than my colleagues who are in the building. So I just think that allowing teachers who are able to work and teach from home to do so, as Becky and others have said, it'll reduce the number of people in the buildings, reduce chances of the spread of COVID-19. It just makes sense. And I just urge you to support Dr. Salerno's proposal to revise that employee return to site-based work plan. And then I just wanted to add one other request, and that is just to bring a suggestion that the board and the district think about the COVID-19 data reporting on the district website. Currently, our COVID dashboard lists just 4 categories. Those are positive staff cases, positive on-campus student cases, staff who are in quarantine or isolation, and students who are in quarantine or isolation. And that's listed as a running total since the beginning of the school year, I believe. I would just urge the district to expand this reporting to match what other districts around us are doing, and that is to break the data down by building as well as by teachers versus other support staff. I think breaking down the data even further by week would allow the public as well as school district staff to see any trends, try to work to reduce spread in buildings that might be seeing higher numbers of infections, and hopefully see those trends taking a downward turn. I really believe that more clarity and transparency in the data will build trust and just help avoid any confusion or speculation with that data. Thank you.
Rod, you're on mute.
Thank you, Leah. You're my conscience, I think, when it comes to being on and off mute. The old guy has trouble with that. So thank you. I was just saying thank you, Marcia, for your comments, not only about your experiences, but your suggestions about data reporting. Both are important to us. We have no one left on the list for citizen comments, but I'll make a last call at 608-250-9166. I'm embarrassed that I have to look at that number on a piece of paper after so many weeks. 608-250-9166. All right, hearing no further citizen comments, we'll move to item 4A, discussion of an alteration to the district's return to site-based work plan. And I would offer a question to the board. Should we have a discussion about that potential alteration in general, or would we be more comfortable having someone make a motion and discussing a motion? I'm up for either, but I'm just suggesting that we obviously would have discussion on a motion, and it might be more productive to have that discussion with something on the wall. All right, then I will move. Then we are on 4A, discussion of an alteration to the district's return to site-based work plan. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, then we'll move on to 5A.
Hey, Rod, I
Yes.
guess I would like to hear Dr. Salerno's thoughts.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone on the call. Board members, on Thursday afternoon, I had shared with you a memo and passed it along to the rest of our faculty and staff. And then it was made public on Friday. You know, when we started this journey back in late July and the board directed administration to come up with a plan, we went through 2 iterations of that plan. And what we knew then is very different than what we know now. And so we are just wanting to continue to evolve. And I'm grateful to those who I continue to encircle myself with, staff as well as administrators who've helped us develop the plans that you've seen now over the course of the past several months. We think this is a prudent step. We think this is an appropriate step. And with the kinds of caveats that we've laid out there, we ask for your thoughtful consideration tonight, please. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments? Questions for Steve? Steve, I have a few questions. And why don't we take them now? Just working through your list of 5 considerations. At the second consideration, exempt specific work groups from this proposal. We're still giving supervisors the flexibility to say we need 100%, we need 50%, we need 25%. I mean, we're not suggesting that every single one of our employees in these exempt groups is necessarily on site and working all the time, correct?
Well, that's exactly right. Thank you. Yes, this would just be reflective of those groups that would be there to help us in meeting our hybrid and virtual plus programs. For example, not every paraprofessional or not every custodian would be required every single day, but it does take additional hands on deck to help support kids who are in the hybrid or virtual program.
Thank you. Consideration 3, maintain administrators' flexibility. I assume that the maintenance of that flexibility, it would be sort of generally considered temporary, right? That this is not, these are not ongoing, these would not be ongoing staffing levels.
Yes, exactly right. We want to do everything we can to preclude having to disrupt families, staff members who have families from having to come into the building. But there may be very rare circumstances I can think of that may necessitate bringing in extra hands to address things like material pickup or in the event that we're having an issue because several people are ill and we need to have coverage for bus duty. Obviously, there's a few of us at the district office who could help out, and as we have been, we're glad to do that. But we just want to reserve management's right to be able to direct their workflow. And where on a very rare circumstance, we would need to call in support so as to keep staff and students safe, and then of course protect the district against any claims of negligence.
Fair enough. Just a final question on item number 4. Permit those colleagues who wish to work from their building to continue doing so. So
Okay.
this is a little bit confusing to me because the chief reason that we're considering a moratorium is for public health and safety. And so I guess this seems to be counterintuitive to that goal. Can you walk me through why that makes sense given the chief reason we're doing this is to protect public health?
Yeah, thank you. I can appreciate the question. It does seem to conflict with the rationale for why we're proposing to move in this direction. We do know, upon speaking with several staff members and formulating as we did with this plan and all the other plans before it, that this was an important piece, at least to some. I think maybe even I heard Mrs. Kleppe speak to this just a bit earlier. I suspect in my conversations with teachers, it's around the concept of having my materials, having better internet access. Sometimes it's easier to work without, if we have little ones, who are competing for our needs. If we could just be in the building. Our staff have done an exemplary job in so many ways, and one of the ways in which they've done that is they've been very good about the physical distancing when they're working within their buildings. And so I don't suspect a lot of folks, for the very reasons that we've just talked about, but many staff have asked if at least we allow for this to occur.
Thanks. Those are my questions. Are there other comments or questions? Other discussion generally?
This, Leah, I have a quick question. The building is 6 to 6. Is that Monday through Friday, or is that Monday through Sunday? I thought at one point we weren't having people in the building over the weekends, but I don't remember.
Yeah, our initial thinking was to do Monday through Friday only. But here again, this is another reason why our staff is exceptional at what they do, right? They're always willing to give of their time and talents. And sometimes that means even on the weekends, just getting things together for classes on Monday. And so what we try to do is we try to close off the buildings at 6 p.m. every night, so that way we could use our fogging systems. And then we try to do the same thing first thing on Monday morning to those areas affected.
I have one more question. What's the rationale between starting Monday rather than like tomorrow, like effective immediately?
Thank you. I discussed this with team members, and the thought was if there was some question about who's working where, that we at least have that one more day of professional contact time with our staff. Wednesday, all staff, with the exception of administrators, are on a day off. So it would just be this one day remaining for us to communicate with those folks who have questions.
Further questions, comments, general discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to item 5A, consideration of an alteration to the district's return to site-based work plan. I have a motion.
Second.
Wow, that was you're really trusting me.
Oh, I thought somebody else made the motion. Sorry, Rod, go ahead.
No, that's good. That's
Was
all
it
right.
you? Because I Kimberly unmuted, so I thought it was Kimberly.
No, there hasn't been a motion made that I know of.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good. That's good.
I
all
thought I
right.
missed it
That was
with
great.
the
I'll take
internet
your
going in and
second.
out.
I'll take your second. I move that the Board of Education adopt a moratorium related to the employee return to site-based work plan with the 5 considerations identified in Dr. Salerno's motion to the board.
This is Diana. I'll second that.
All right. I have moved and Diana has seconded a motion to adopt a moratorium with the 5 considerations identified in Dr. Salerno's memo to the board. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor will say aye.
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 Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and a moratorium regarding the district's employee return to site-based work plan has been adopted. Item 6A, citizen comments. Do we have additional citizen comments, Shelby? Any additional citizen comments? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Kimberly.
This is Jessica, I second.
Kimberly has moved and Jessica has seconded a motion to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor will say aye.
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 Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you and have a great night.
Bye, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.